You probably don't know it, but on a daily basis, you are doing these mistakes and they are killing your hair. Don't miss out on these 7 worst hair loss mistakes that I have seen over the years. And these mistakes are also scientifically backed to worsen your hair loss. You are losing your hair. Well, I assume you do. I mean, why else would you be on my channel? Even if you are not losing your hair, stay tuned while I go over these 7 biggest hair loss mistakes that I have collected for you in this list. We're going to start from number 7 and go all the way down to number 1, which is the biggest hair loss mistake I have ever seen. Also, I have a little bonus for you at the end of this video, so make sure to stick around for it. Number 7. Underlying medical condition. This one is a silent killer of hair, but I see a lot of people dealing with stuff like diabetes and autoimmune disorders that are also struggling with hair loss. Hyperglycemia, for example, will actually accelerate hair loss, and if you on top of that have androgenic alopecia, your hair is on the fast track to extension levels. So if you have any medical conditions, check up if it is affecting hair loss, and if it does, check what you can do to prevent it. Number 6. Not washing your hair often enough. This is an old myth, and I'm so sick of reading all these Instagram influencers talking about how washing your hair will accelerate hair loss. It's not long ago since there was an article in Forbes. Yes, the Forbes, stating how this new TikTok trend about not washing your hair for hair growth was not only wrong, but could actually accelerate hair loss even further. I already done a video where I did a deep dive on the literature in cleaning your hair and how it affects hair loss. I can summarize it to this. Washing your hair less than 3 times weekly is bad. Washing it every day will actually yield the best results. So stop being afraid of the shampoo and go take a bath. Number 5. Too much sugar. I don't think a lot of people know this, but hair loss is strongly connected to inflammation. Actually, to such an extent that in all hair loss cases, scientists are able to register an increased amount of inflammation in the follicles. And guess what is excellent in creating inflammation? Sugars. Last year, there was a study published where they found a direct link between sugar intake in beverages and accelerated hair loss in young people. My best advice here is to reduce the sugar intake overall. Even though this was only done with sugar drinks, I think it translates into all sorts of sweets, to be honest. Number 4. Not getting enough sleep. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Sleep is when the body gets rid of all the inflammation, toxins, and the waste you built up the previous day. And your body is a really smart machine. It will decide where to prioritize things first based on necessity. And guess what? Hair is not a necessity according to your body. One of the first things that you'll notice if you go without proper sleep for an extended period of time is that your hair quality will start to decrease. A study from 2022 found that less than 6 hours of quality sleep is associated with hair loss. So my recommendation is to get at least 7 hours of sleep, but if you can, try and go to bed early enough that you will wake up before the alarm goes off. That is a good indicator that you had enough sleep. Number 3. Smoking. I mean, do we really have to talk about this? Smoking is so harmful to your body overall, but if you don't believe me, believe in this study here from 2024. According to this study, smoking is going to increase your chances of hair loss with 1.8 times. So almost double the chances of hair loss. And here's the kicker. This is if you have smoked at any point in your life. Even those occasional cigarettes are ruining your hairline. Quit smoking. not just for your hair. Number 2, not using any androgen antagonist. I know not everybody is on the RU58841 wagon like I am. I prefer the strongest androgen antagonist out there, and that's my choice. But we already have stuff like CB0301, aka Brisula, on the market. It has already gotten the FDA approval for removing acne, and yes, acne and hair loss have the same mechanisms and can be treated in the same way. Remember what I said about washing hair, stress, sleep, sugar? Yeah, same stuff. They are currently doing their stage 3 FDA approval phase to be approved for hair loss too. So if you're not looking into using a topical anti-androgen, I strongly believe that you are doing yourself a disservice. If you want to know more about CB0301 or RU58841, go search my channel. I have a ton of videos on these bad boys. And now for the big finale. Not talking to a doctor. I mean, what the hell are you thinking? I had more friends that I could count coming up to me with questions about hair loss, and I usually ask them, what did your doctor say? And, did you get a prescription for finasteride from your doctor? And they answer me with,
what? You can go to a doctor with these kind of things?
This is your doctor. I know there's a bunch of YouTubers out there giving you advice on hair loss, but here's the end of the line. I'm not a doctor. I have a Master of Science degree in architecture, which means that I'm specialized in doing architecture research. Of course, it helps me to understand the literature. Added up with my interest of endocrinology, I have a good basis for this. But YouTubers are usually not doctors. Take Kevin from Hair Cafe. The guy is a beast when it comes to doing research and understanding how to evaluate literature. But we are YouTubers, nothing else. And by the way, the reason why I'm using Kevin as an example is only due to the massive amount of respect for his work. So I'm not trying to bash anything. He is a great example of a great mind with great insight. But there's a reason that private people are not allowed to give medical advice. Learn from these kind of videos, but don't replace a visit to your doctor with a YouTube video. And now it is time for the honorable bonus mention. And the reason why I put this last is simply because I don't think it's a mistake to do it, and I don't think it's a mistake not to do it. I'm talking about this bad boy. Finasteride has gotten a mixed rep over the last 5 years, and more people are talking about what is known as post-finasteride syndrome. Finasteride can be a great asset to your fight against hair loss, but it also comes with a list of risks that is starting to get more and more attention. This is why I think it is a highly individual question whether you want to take that risk or if you want to stay on the safe side. This is also a really good example of YouTubers having different opinions based on science. Kevin from Hair Cafe is a big pro finasteride person, and I'm taking finasteride. I'm actually switching to dutasteride, but I'll be another video on this very soon. But I also have my concerns. And if you want to know what these concerns are, I made a video about post-finasteride syndrome that will explain all the risk about it from a science perspective, and you can find it right here.